What?
Pizza play.
Oh.
Pizza go. Oh yeah, Mario time. Pizza go.
Oh. What? What?
Pizza go.
Или Disneyland.
Oh yeah, Mario time. Let's go. Oh yeah, Mario time. Mario number one! Woohoo!
What? What?
It's a go! This way. Yeah. Let's go. Okay, Mario time. Let's go. Mario number one! Woohoo! Yeah! Oh yeah!
What? What? What?